Play, and I am here again for another live. I told y'all I am going live every single night until the end of the year, regardless of whatever. And I just want to get on here and just say hello and then tell you guys a little bit about my day. I went to the Enon Apple Butter Festival. I believe they have it every year. Enon is in Ohio, and they are known for apples, I guess, because I looked at their water tower and it said Enon, but the O had an apple. So they must be known for that. And it was nice. They had real apple butter, which I did buy a pint of it, and they were making the apple butter there. So they had these big bowls and they had people turning that or stirring the apple butter. It was heated. I'm not exactly sure how you make apple butter. I did not technically grow up on apple butter. Like, it wasn't a thing. I know a couple people that's like, oh, my grandmother used to make apple butter. Not my grandma. I don't ever remember her making apple butter that I can recall, but I'm pretty sure I had it. And I remember going to Bob Evans and getting those little packets of jam that said apple butter, and it was decent. I mean, it wasn't something that I was just like going crazy over. But anyway, we went there and they were even asking for volunteers for people to come and stir the apple butter, because I guess you have to constantly stir it. And with it being that it smells so good and it's fresh and the bees were out. I mean, they had the bees swarming everywhere. So these people are stirring this hot apple butter and then having bees flying. They were everywhere the apple butter was. So when we bought the apple butter, they put it in a pint mason jar, and it was still hot as they were passing it out. And we were at the festival for maybe an hour or so, maybe two. And when we got in the car, we even rode around just kind of looking at the scenery, and the apple butter was still hot. So I'm excited to be able to bust that open. I was going to make some fresh biscuits, but I don't feel like making homemade biscuits. So guess what? I'm going to go get some Pillsbury, and I'm going to taste this apple butter, and I'll let you guys know how it tastes. It's fresh, homemade apple butter. So yeah, if you ever get a chance, if you're in Ohio, and I believe today was probably the last day, but if you're ever in Ohio and you want to go to the Apple Butter Festival, I recommend going. I think my husband took them, but I even got me some earrings. So some little burger earrings. So the Apple Festival was great. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. So we did that. We also was going to go to a restaurant that I was going to do live. It's called Corner. Crap, I forgot what the restaurant's called, but it's in Enon. It's Queen something, but they were closed. They were only open today from like 9 to 2:30 p.m. I'm doing well. Yes, thank you. So like I said, I'm going live every single day. Want to tell you guys kind of about my day, but I also wanted to reiterate, we are in a series since my channel is everything food. I still want to do some type of encouragement if I'm not going live. Okay. If I'm not going live, I still want to do some types of encouragement. So we have been on a marriage series and how to prepare for relationships or marriage. And for those who are already married, stay in the game. But for those who are interested in giving some little tips and tricks, because relationships are not easy. They aren't. You have two people who live two different lives, who were raised differently, who are trying to come together to mesh well and have a cohesive unit, right? And then when you add kids into the mix, then that comes a little bit more. So with that, the great thing about relationships are they can work, they can be mended if you want them to. So a lot of times people want to jump into these relationships and they haven't gotten themselves together. One of the first things I was talking to one of my friends who's single, and she don't mind, I'm not going to tell her business or anything like that, but she was asking, like, how can she prepare herself? Why aren't people talking to her and that kind of thing. And sometimes it's just not your season to be talked to and catcalled and men calling you or women calling you all the time. Sometimes you gotta be isolated and start preparing yourself. You got to prepare your mind. One thing that I wanted to say on here, my algorithm is crazy now because I keep pressing on these daggone videos and I'm getting unhinged videos and all these videos where people are doing crazy things. And today I saw a video where a lady is in a relationship with another woman, and I believe this is the woman's kid, but the lady who's not the mother had the kid and took this kid to Kroger, 7-year-old. And the lady who's supposed to be watching the kid, who's supposed to be the caregiver at the time, punched, like closed fist, kept punching kid. This is, first of all, don't do that. And then this is not your kid. She was doing this and 2 witnesses saw it, and the little boy's nose and stuff was bloody and that kind of stuff. If you are just angered and you have a temper, before you get into a relationship, and I know that's extreme, but I'm just giving y'all an example. Before you get into a relationship, please check that temper. You do not want to get into a marriage and a relationship and you beating everybody up. What did the little, so I don't know. They didn't say. I watched, so she, Jason asked, what did little boy do? So it's on Law and Crime. If you want to follow up on it, they're probably going to follow up with us and tell us what happened. But I mean, he couldn't, what do? You get closed fists. They said the little boy's nose was bloody. So they didn't say what he did. She is denying that she did it. But of course, y'all know Kroger everywhere has cameras. They even have cameras that can identify who you are at this point. So like, don't go out doing something crazy. But they didn't say what the boy did. She's denying it. When the cops talked to the boy, he said he lied. And allegedly, he said that he had a nosebleed. And so they did find blood on his shorts, dried blood. But the bruising that he had was pretty fresh. And when they found her, she took a bottle of water, and that's telling in itself. She probably had bloody hands and things like that, allegedly. So I'm going to follow up on it. And if I hear anything else, I'll definitely let you guys know. But it's on Law and Crime. And all you have to do is, I think, type in woman punches 7-year-old kid and she'll pop up. So that's one thing. Like, before you get into relationships, do the healing for yourself. Do the work. If you got a temper, you got daddy issues, mommy issues, a whole bunch of trauma, none of us is 100%. But start doing the work before you get into a relationship, because that's insane. And this woman is with this other woman. I think all of them may have children or something like that. Like, don't do that to the kids. Like, y'all know y'all triggered. Yeah, so at this point, it's just kind of like, do your inner healing before you start adding some other people in, and then start thinking about relationships. And as you're working on yourself, y'all, I'm telling you, if you want to be married and you want somebody, as you're working on yourself, somebody will come. They will. You ain't even gonna be thinking about them. You're gonna be like, well, really, I don't even care if I get somebody or whatever. And then here go Mr. Right, here come Mrs. Right. I'm telling you, it works every single time. It happened to me. I wasn't even really being bothered for real. And then boom, here several people. Goodness grief. So, all right, I want to get on here and encourage you guys. We're talking about marriage and relationships, preparing ourselves. We start with the appetizer. The appetizer is being prepared, what you should do before getting into relationships. I'm going to be on here every single night. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to jump on my other channel, which is my parenting channel, Not So Perfect Parenting by Regina Long. Go ahead and like and subscribe to here. Go ahead and like and subscribe to there. And I will see you guys tomorrow. It is Regina, the real Gina B, Date with the Plate.